YouTube animation is a wild place. Some creators make you smile for hours, and others make you question humanity in 5 seconds. Let's explore both the ones everybody loves, as well as the ones that everybody loves to hate. Alan Becker is like that quiet kid in class who just doesn't say much, but when he shows you what he's been working on, your jaw drops. He doesn't need to talk. He doesn't even need characters that talk. His work is the conversation. His Animator vs. Animation series is legendary, not just because it's creative, but because it's built entirely from imagination. No flashy dialogue, no voice actors, just stick figures fighting, laughing, breaking through screens, and turning a simple desktop into a battlefield of creativity. It's one of those rare projects that reminds people what animation actually is: storytelling through motion, emotion, and madness, all rolled into one. You can tell Alan Becker is obsessed, in the best way possible. Every movement, every small reaction from his stick figures feels deliberate, like it was drawn frame by someone who's deeply in love with the process. When you watch one of his videos, it's not just entertainment, it's like peeking inside of the brain of creativity itself. Fans constantly comment things like, "This isn't just animation, it's art," or "This man turned stick figures into legends." And honestly, they're right. Every project he releases feels alive, as if those little digital characters aren't just drawings anymore, but his partners in creation. There's emotion, humor, and even a strange sense of friendship between the animator and his creations. It's calm, it's clever, and it hits in a way few creators ever manage. You don't just watch Alan Becker videos, you feel them. But where Alan builds entire worlds from scratch, Wolfoo kinda builds them from someone else's blueprint. At first glance, it looks cute, a friendly wolf family, colorful backgrounds, and lessons for kids. But take a second look, and things start to feel way too familiar. The characters look almost identical to Peppa Pig, the same shapes, the same faces, even the same awkward snorts. The setting, nearly the same. The tone, basically a remix. It's like someone pressed copy-paste on a British cartoon and changed the species. Parents started noticing, then the internet did, and eventually, well, even the actual creators of Peppa Pig noticed and sued. That alone says a lot. When your show is so similar that lawyers step in, you know it's not just inspired by anymore, it's a copy with lipstick. And it doesn't stop there. Beyond the similarities, Wolfoo often dives into weird territory, jokes that make zero sense, strange storylines, and moments that leave parents scratching their heads. It's the kind of show that looks harmless on the surface, until you actually sit through it and start wondering, why is my toddler watching this? Some episodes get oddly aggressive, others are just kind of bizarre. And while kids don't really notice, parents definitely do. The humor feels off, the pacing is chaotic, and it leaves you more confused than entertained. Now, meet the odd ones out, or James, the guy who made storytelling cool again. He takes awkward real-life moments, first jobs, weird family stories, and childhood fails, and turns them into hilarious animated tales. His videos feel like listening to your funniest friend tell a story. Fans love how real he is. No drama, no exaggeration, just pure humor and honesty. You'll see comments like, "I've been watching since middle school, and now I'm in college and it still hits," or "He helped me through tough times." James doesn't need clickbait. His personality is the hook. He proves that you don't have to shout to be heard. Now on the other hand, we have Rico Animations. Colorful, loud, and full of, well, poop jokes. At first glance you think, oh cool, a fun cartoon. 5 seconds later, you're realizing it's just shock humor, the kind that's weirdly obsessed with toilets and chaos. Comments usually sound like, "Who keeps watching this?" or "It's like the same bad joke repeated 200 times over." The thing is, Rico's videos get views, millions of them. But not all views mean love. Sometimes people click just to see how bad it's gotten. While Odd Ones Out wins hearts by being genuine, Rico chases clicks by being outrageous. Then there's Pencilmation, the little doodle world that somehow feels more alive than half of YouTube. A pencil draws a stick figure, the stick figure comes to life, fights back, and chaos unfolds. But the good kind of chaos. It's pure, simple fun. No dialogue, no language barrier, just animation magic doing what it does best: show, not tell. You don't need to understand English or even be old enough to read the title, you'll still laugh. Kids love the slapstick humor. Adults catch the clever timing and small, sneaky jokes that slip in between the lines. It's one of those rare shows that everyone, regardless of age or country, just gets. There's something timeless about it, like those old silent cartoons your grandparents used to talk about, but reborn in HD. Fans always write things like, "This was my childhood," or "I grew up watching this and it still holds up." And well, they're right. You can feel the passion in every frame. It's not made for algorithms, it's made for fun. It's silly, unpredictable, and charming in its own way. In a YouTube world filled with clickbait and copy-paste content, Pencilmation feels hand-drawn and human, which ironically makes it stand out in a digital jungle. But where Pencilmation feels alive, Nuttshell Animations feel, well, a little drained. There was a time when it was everyone's favorite quick laugh, short, snappy, and full of personality. It nailed that mix of casual humor and clever one-liners that made people hit replay again and again. But then something changed. Slowly, fans started to notice that the jokes weren't landing like before. The spark, that little creative heartbeat, was fading. Soon, the comments turned from excitement to disappointment. People began saying things like, "He doesn't even animate anymore," or "This used to be funny. What happened?" And that's the thing about audiences. They can tell. They can sense when passion gets replaced by production, when creativity gets traded for consistency. Rumors started floating around that the creator had outsourced most of the work, paying freelancers poorly and focusing solely on output. Whether that's true or not, the fans clearly felt something was off. You can scroll through old comments full of love and laughter. Then, look at the newer ones, full of sighs and nostalgia for what it used to be. If there's one channel that still keeps the human touch, maybe even amplifies it, it's Jaiden Animations. Jaiden isn't just an animator, she's a storyteller with soul. She doesn't need crazy effects or wild punchlines. She just talks about real life, her experiences, her struggles, and somehow makes you feel like you're sitting across from her having a conversation over coffee. Her fans often say things like, "Jaiden helped me through tough days," or "She makes me feel like I'm not alone." And that's powerful. She takes topics like anxiety, insecurity, and self-doubt, things people usually hide, and turns them into stories filled with humor, empathy, and hope. Her animation style isn't flashy, but it's warm. Her voice isn't exaggerated, but it's real. She doesn't chase trends, she shares truth. And that's what makes her different. She doesn't just entertain, she connects. And then there's Cocomelon. It's the behemoth of nursery rhymes, the giant that toddlers can't escape, and let's be real, the bane of exhausted parents everywhere. On the surface, it looks innocent, colorful, cheerful, and harmless. The characters are cute, the songs are upbeat, and every animation feels polished and perfectly timed. It's designed to keep tiny eyes glued to the screen, and it does that really, really well. Those catchy nursery rhymes, they don't just get stuck in your child's head. Sometimes they get stuck in your head too. But if you peel back the layers, there's a reason so many parents are raising their eyebrows. The bright colors, constant motion, and never-ending songs can feel overstimulating. Some even call it addictive or mind-numbing, like a sugar rush disguised as education. Parents often describe it as a nightmare loop. The same song, the same animation, the same overstimulation, over and over again. Some report that after long stretches, their kids become cranky, impatient, or restless, as if the constant visual and auditory input rewires their patience. And that's the thing about Cocomelon. It's undeniably effective at capturing attention and generating massive views. But attention isn't the same as connection. It entertains without engaging, captivates without inspiring, and dazzles without teaching. If you've noticed a pattern, you're not wrong. The loved channels all have one thing in common. They care about people. The hated ones, they care about performance. It's not a fight between good and evil. It's a reminder that effort shows. You can't fake authenticity. And the truth is, YouTube's animation world isn't about who has the best software or the biggest team. It's about who has heart. When creators love what they make, it shows in every single frame. If you enjoyed the journey, like, share, and tell me, which animation creator do you think deserves more love? From the most loved and talented internet animators to the ones people can't stand, today we're jumping into the wild world of YouTube animators. The last disaster is absolutely mind-blowing, like crazy.
Here you go.
Wow, that's
I think, if you're looking for any other things, I don't think you really need them. Diamond, you really deserve diamonds.
Dizzy's
Oh boy, this one didn't just upset viewers, they horrified them. Now, before this story exploded, Ethobot was considered one of the most reliable animators who built an empire out of Minecraft storytelling. No scandals, no drama, only clean and colorful Minecraft stories that 8 million subscribers enjoyed. Then, a single accusation appeared and the community froze. Claims surfaced, screenshots spread, and suddenly, viewers no longer knew who to trust. What started as a simple dispute grew into something far more complicated, and every new detail pulled the audience deeper into the mystery. But the thing about loved creators is, well, when drama hits them, it hits harder. The first crack appeared quietly. Another animator, Animal Mace, said Ethobot had been abusing YouTube's copyright system. No one wanted to believe it, yet videos started disappearing, strikes appearing without warning. Fans were stuck between confusion and disbelief, trying to understand how a creator with such a clean image could be at the center of something so messy. But that wasn't the worst part. Animal Maze released a massive document full of screenshots, explanations, and proof that Ethobot had been sending takedowns for thumbnails that looked similar to his. Screenshots spread faster than anyone could track, and just when fans thought they had picked a side, the plot twisted yet again. The document revealed that Ethobot himself had copied dozens of thumbnails from another creator, Afmao, a massive channel with 24 million subs. So he was striking thumbnails that he had basically copied himself. Then things got even stranger. Apparently, Ethobot's mother joined the fight. She allegedly messaged people threatening legal action, claiming things like videos are trademarked, which isn't how copyright law works at all. Viewers couldn't decide if it was funny, sad, or just plain uncomfortable. But the most serious moment came when a former teen collaborator named Emma came forward. She said she was 16 or 17 when she worked for him and described controlling behavior, unpaid hours, manipulation, guilt tripping, and emotional pressure whenever she didn't spend time with him. It painted a picture no one expected from a polished, beloved animation channel. Ethobot didn't lose his channel like some creators do, but the community's trust, that got shattered. And his name now floats somewhere between loved for the work and hated for behind-the-scenes drama. But while Ethobot's reputation fractured, another name was rising for very different reasons.
A child, the deeper issues remain: long working hours, small, cramped apartments, and social expectations that put a lot of pressure on parents.
For years, Turbia was one of the most unique voices in animation commentary content. His videos blended clean, sharp animation with reliable commentary long before that became a trend. When he talked about big creators like Logan Paul or KSI, people listened. When he joked about weird trends or YouTube drama, fans shared the videos like treasure. Yet behind all of that success, there were signs that something was shifting in the background. He built nearly 3 million subscribers, 3 million, 70 plus videos crossing 1 million views. His comment section, a peaceful garden. His uploads, straight gold. And then, nothing. He vanished. People assumed burnout, or maybe he was secretly working on a masterpiece. But nope, turns out he became a dad. Twice. His upload schedule slowed exactly when the babies entered the world, and honestly, viewers kind of respected that. It made sense, family first. But when Andre finally made his big comeback, the excitement quickly turned into one giant online argument. Instead of fun commentary or lighthearted animation, he returned with videos talking about social issues, mostly from a traditional or conservative angle. And here's where viewers got shocked. It wasn't what he talked about, it was how different he suddenly sounded. Some fans felt like they were watching a completely new person. Others claimed he'd been alt-right, while Andre insisted the opposite. "I'm not alt-right, I'm just Romanian." That line alone became a meme. He argued that Eastern Europe's normal is America's extreme, different overtone windows, different culture. But the internet didn't exactly handle nuance very well. And the moment he titled the video "How I Became Alt-Right," even though it was a response video, people exploded. He lost thousands of subscribers. Drama subreddits lit up. Some fans felt betrayed. Others thought he was brave. And Andre himself, well, he said he couldn't care less. After years away, he felt free to speak without fear of cancellation. Love turned into hate almost overnight. And now, even though Andre's name still sparks arguments, everyone's watching to see what he does next. And speaking of the hate category, before we go to that last one, the next creator didn't worry viewers. They just truly disappointed them.
One wanted to meet Lightning McQueen in the flesh, or in the steel.
Haminations, the cheerful storyteller who turned awkward childhood memories into entertaining adventures. Nothing about his content was loud or chaotic. There were no aggressive edits or over-the-top gimmicks. He simply shared funny moments from his life, with expressive characters and bright visuals that felt comforting to watch. Viewers didn't just enjoy his videos, they relied on him. They were the kind of animators people put on after a bad day to laugh at something innocent and relatable. But his journey was only beginning, and the response from viewers would shape everything that came next. His rise was fast and earned. Millions connected with him immediately. His art style evolved, his jokes sharpened, and every upload felt like a cozy chat with a friend. He became known as one of the most positive voices in the animation community. Parents loved that his videos felt safe, Kids loved that he was silly and honest. Older fans loved that he wasn't afraid to poke fun at himself. And for a long time, it seemed like everyone agreed. Haminations was one of the good ones. But as his storytelling matured, so did the tone. Sometimes his videos highlighted uncomfortable moments, awkward personal experiences, emotional challenges, and parts of his life that weren't always fun. It wasn't a dramatic change, but it was noticeable. The humor leaned a little more into cringe comedy. The atmosphere sometimes dipped into serious or melancholic reflection. That shift stirred debate in the comments section. What shocked viewers wasn't a specific scandal or a big controversy. It was the realization that Haminations was changing as a person. Some fans loved watching him grow. They respected honesty and saw it as a natural evolution. They appreciated that he wasn't stuck doing the same jokes forever. But others felt like the spark was fading. They joked that he was less funny now, claiming the videos were slower or too emotional. A few even wondered if the channel was becoming too personal for comfort. And the strangest part is that Haminations never did anything wrong. He didn't attack anyone, he didn't hurt his community, he didn't break any rules. He just kept making content from the heart. And somehow, that was enough for criticism to appear out of nowhere. The internet has an odd relationship with creators who feel relatable. People want them to stay exactly the same forever. The moment a creator grows up, the audience feels like they're losing the version of them they first connected with. That's the challenge Haminations ran into. The more real he became, the more divided his viewers grew. His fanbase still shows up in huge numbers, and he continues to pull millions of views with every upload. Yet the conversation around him is louder now, a mix of praise, frustration, nostalgia, and expectation in putting smiles on screen everywhere. That alone is enough for millions to stick around. Haminations remains one of the most uplifting creators in the animation space. His cheerful storytelling, expressive art style, and warm sense of humor continue to bring comfort to millions of viewers. Even as his style evolves and his stories become more personal, fans still return to him for the same reason they always did. He makes people feel good. His videos offer a moment of calm, a familiar smile, and a reminder that sincere creativity still has a place on the internet. And for many, Haminations isn't just entertaining, he's genuinely inspiring. And finally, we end with the creator who went from rising star to total downfall. Ribs wasn't just another Roblox animator, she felt like the future of the community. Her animation style had a kind of surreal polish, expressive CGI-style character movement, cinematic camera angles, and quick pacing that kept viewers glued to the screen. Fans praised her for standing out in a space that's often dominated by very similar-looking content. Yet the more attention she gained, the clearer it became that her influence went far beyond animation quality alone. People admired her not only for the skill, but for representation. A young woman thriving in a gaming animation niche? That's refreshing. Many looked up to her, younger creators especially, seeing her as proof that you could break into the scene with enough creativity and consistency. Her growth was fast. Videos hit millions of views. Collabs lined up. Her comment section overflowed with excitement every time she posted. The phrase Ribs Upload Day became a mini event for fans. But then came the twist. Sometimes the darkest turns happen when nobody expects them. A lengthy document surfaced online. Screenshots, timestamps, conversations, all claiming Ribs, around 19 years old at the time, had knowingly pursued a 15-year-old minor. Allegations said she fully understood his age and continued to push boundaries anyway. The chats didn't stay innocent for long. Messages reported shifted from casual gaming talk to inappropriate, mature themes, a direction that alarmed everyone who read them. What disturbed people most wasn't just the behavior, but the pattern. Repeated messages that implied grooming-like manipulation. The situation challenged a stereotype that grooming scandals only involve male creators. This case flipped that assumption completely. Fans were stunned. Some refused to believe it. Others said the evidence spoke loudly. Then, the reaction from Ribs made everything else worse. Instead of taking responsibility, she went on the offensive, shutting down every accusation with anger, calling the entire thing fake, in some cases telling critics she wanted them dead. The meltdown only fueled the outrage. It wasn't a moment of reflection, it was combustion. Within weeks, her reputation shattered. Within days after that, her platform disappeared. Her channel, more than 600,000 subs, years of work, was terminated. Her social accounts went silent. As for the community, it was a chilling reminder, even the creators who seem inspiring can hide something far darker behind the screen. And that's the story of the most loved and most hated animation creators on YouTube's wild side. If you want more deep dives like this, hit subscribe and like, and let me know who we uncover next in the comments.